These are meant to be just very broad remarks and not necessarily to be relative to any particular person. But if you look on the slide on the board, I have just one slide. It's the only thing I'm going to show. And it talks about a general description of cancer. And basically, all the cells in the body, whether they're blood cells, skin cells, colon cells, prostate cells, lung cells, whatever they are, there are some rules that guide how cells reproduce themselves. And the guide for those rules sits right here in this little round thing that's called the nucleus. And in the nucleus is all of the information that tells a cell how it's supposed to reproduce itself. One of the things that it's supposed to do is make sure that all of the cells look like the cell that they came from. The second thing it's supposed to do is there's some rules about when the cells get close to one another, they're not supposed to grow on top or push or crowd each other out. And they typically grow in some sort of ordered way. Now, what happens is something, and particularly Dr. Kittles, has been looking at what goes on right here in the center of the cell, this nucleus. And in the nucleus, what happens is something causes the cell to act crazy. And it begins to reproduce itself in a very different sort of way. And the way that it does that is if you look at the bottom row here on the cancer cells, you see some very different sort of things. The cells, what do you notice first? They don't look alike, right? Second thing you notice is they're all different sizes and shapes, but they're also growing on top of, squeezing everybody out of, trying to squeeze out of the way. It would be as though I say I had the winning lottery ticket for the first person who could get to me. And everybody would knock everybody down trying to get to me. But you can see that there's different stages of the cell reproduction all going on at the same time, as opposed to all of these cells being mature at the same time. And this process, though the cancers in and of themselves may be labeled differently, but this process is the same process that happens in the prostate. We call it prostate cancer. In the lung, we call it lung cancer. In the brain, we call it brain cancer. In the colon, we call it colon cancer. But it is this process that we're trying to study and understand. Now, all cancers don't behave the same. All cancers, different cancers respond to different things, and there's certain cancers that don't respond very much to anything. Well, we certainly have done a lot, and today our focus is going to be on cancers like this process that takes place in the prostate.